Susie girl, why don't you tell us about your salvation experience?
So I grew up in a very secure Christian home. We're going to church, and Sunday school was mandatory. And Amma made me learn memory verses every Sunday. It was a must. We had to learn memory verses and write them down with punctuations and right spellings, no reciting. It was only writing.
What were the consequences if you didn't do it?
We couldn't go out for food.
No dinner?
No.
And you were very involved in VBS.
Yes.
From the time you were little.
I used to go for VBS with my cousins. Amma used to drop us all. We used to go together, come back together, and we used to learn the memory verses together. And the next day, we were like, almost it was like a competition. Who will tell the memory verse first? And who will get the star or a sticker from our teachers? And those akkas who taught us, they really, it was something different about them. They really invested in our lives. And they took time to prepare, and the activities they did was all so different and so nice, and I really loved it. And it was in school when my principal at that time, she actually after an exam, she prayed for us saying, God, let God's presence go with you wherever you go. It was for holidays, and so I used to just pray saying, Lord, let your presence go before us. But it was in one retreat where I really felt the presence of God, and that's when I gave my life to Christ. And I'm sure, our families are almost similar, and upbringing is similar, but God works in different ways. What was your salvation experience?
God works uniquely in each of our lives. Even though our families are very similar, we've been Christians for many generations. In fact, in my lineage, there were bishops, pastors, my grandparents were pioneers in education, and so eventually I had to, I did my schooling at my parents' school and then later at my grandparents' school. And being the grandson of the principal carries a lot of baggage or weight, okay? And so there were two extremes the way I was treated. Some people put me on their heads, gave me more attention than I really needed. And on the other extreme, we had people who would, all their frustration, anger, they'll put it on you. So I reached a point when I felt like I was not genuinely accepted for who I was. And so there was a lot of resentment in me. So I thought I should be like, to be accepted by my friends, I should be at my worst behavior. And that is when I took up things like smoking. And then I started using filthy language. I started chewing inappropriate things, indulging things that hurt my body. And my life was in a very serious mess. My grades started dropping. And it was definitely evident for the entire world to see. But I thank God that that period was only for 3 months. And if it had been long, it would have made maybe a more fascinating story. But there were people praying for me, my family was praying for me, and by God's grace, I got saved. So in the school that I studied in, it was built on Christ. Basically, my grandparents started the school with no money in their pockets. It was purely God's leading and enormous amount of faith. So the way the institution grew, it was all God. And so we had different activities happening in our school, a lot of meetings, revival meetings, and there was a great revival. And many students were giving their lives to Christ. And during one Sunday meeting, I remember with tears running down my cheek, I accepted Christ into my life. And my life has not been the same. I stopped using bad language. Immediately, I've never spoken a bad word since. And I felt God's leading in every step of the way. A few weeks after I got saved, we had these daily prayers in our hostel. So it used to be 40 minutes of just prayer every day. And during one of those prayers, my mouth started uttering strange words, and that is when I received the Holy Spirit. So life has been very exciting. After then, my God has blessed my education and great marriage and two lovely daughters. I mean, God has been with us every step of the way. I remember the time we met each other and how God arranged our marriage.
We didn't know each other, and when Appa told me that I had to meet you, the first thing I asked was, how old is he? And after that I started praying, and my prayer was very
Specific.
very specific, that if I have to meet this person, then I have to go and then let it happen. On that particular day when we were supposed to come to Madurai to meet you, I had prayed that, Lord, let it happen. And even though there were some hurdles and it looked like we couldn't make it, but it happened. It was just complete God's leading, I would say.
See, the day you arrived, I mean, my parents were very excited, so for their sake, I said, I'll meet you. Okay? But God always led me and He always spoke to me. But on this particular instance, God hadn't spoken to me, and I just accepted to meet you because my parents were very excited.
You had fever also on that day.
Yeah, I also felt sick. But that morning, before I met you, maybe 2 hours before I met you, I got this verse from Genesis 24:58, very clear leading. And this was the verse in which it said, then they called Rebecca and asked her, will you go with the man? And she said, I will go. So it was a very clear confirmation that you were going to say yes to me. And even when we spoke to each other, we spoke for a bit, and I asked you, and
You kept dropping the spoon and
I
fork.
did a lot of funny things, but yet you said yes. So that's how God has been leading us, and it's been very exciting. I mean, God is a very personal God, and He wants to get very involved in our lives, and He leads us. After our marriage was fixed, our courtship period was very exciting, but I remember you being very casual about your exams.
Yes, I never used to study, and I used to pass it. If I didn't study, I'll pass. If I studied, I'll fail. I never used to worry about anything much at that time. But after we got married, that changed, and I used to worry a lot about your health, about Kiona's health. And there was this time when Kiona's eyelash was inside her eye, and she couldn't open her eye. And she was not struggling or anything, but then I couldn't watch her eyes like that. And I remember we rushed her to the doctor in the middle of the night that day. I used to worry so much. When that changed was when we started coming to KCC. The word here, the fellowship we have, and everything, all that helped me. Somehow it helped me. I still worry, but it's not like 100% I'm like worry free. I still worry, but it is definitely better than how it used to be before for me. But how did we come to King City Church?
That was an exciting story. God had a plan and a purpose that we come to this church. So I met Sam a couple of times earlier, maybe 15 years ago. And it was here in this parking lot. I think you were sent us shopping. So Kiona, my daughter, was 3 at that time. And me, we were at this shopping. We finished shopping and we were at the parking lot loading the things into the car. When I see Sam, and he looking at me carrying my daughter, he came and handed over a brochure inviting us to this kids program at their church. And so that evening we decided to go. So I came with my daughter and a friend and his daughter. So we were here. We really enjoyed the program. We saw a lot of involvement. We saw that the entire team was putting the heart and soul behind this program, and this was one church which was very different from the one we were going to. And so I told you about it, but you were very apprehensive to come to a new church.
Yes, I didn't want to try out any new church at that time.
Yeah, so we decided we'll just come try this out. Maybe come here once one Sunday a month, and that's how we started. Eventually we came many months later. We attended church one Sunday, and we've never looked back. This has been like home to us, and we've enjoyed the fellowship and King City Church.
Yes, and for me, as such, I have had opportunities before because I told you before that my VBS, the way the teachers there taught us, really impacted me. So that was always there with me, and yes, I did get opportunities to help out with the children's ministry in other places, but it was very sporadic. But after we started coming to King City Church, it's been very consistent. And there was this verse that I learnt when I was a child. My Amma made me memorize John 10. And in that John 10 verse 16, it says, and other sheep I have which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they will hear my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. This really spoke to me, and I knew that there are so many other people who did not know Christ also. It's not just us who need to know Him. There are so many others who need to know Christ as well. So, and this was always there in my mind, and King City Church gave me that opportunity to, I think, go out and do it. It's been a nice experience.
And I can see that you're putting your energy into Kids Club, and really God's using you. And I thank God and the church for this opportunity.